Hello, everyone. It's Royce here, and I want to welcome you all to my Royce in the House YouTube channel. Appreciate y'all being here, each and every one of you. It means a lot to me. The channel's building. We're having fun. Most of us came from Michael Nolan's channel just a bit ago, and so we're still getting it together here, and really looking forward to tonight's show. We're going to do a this is going to be fun. I don't know how many of you have heard about the album Jimmy Page and the Black Crows, the new 25th anniversary 6-album box set, and I will be unboxing it. My wife purchased this for me for my birthday last week. It's Jimmy Page and the Black Crows live at the Greek. 6 albums. There's quite a story behind this. I haven't even taken the shrink wrap off or opened it yet. So there's actually a whole lot to talk about here. So anyway, we'll go ahead and get right into it. Well, first of all, one of the things I said in my title of the show is this Jimmy Page's best post-Zeppelin album? Well, he's put out quite a bit of work, not necessarily just albums that were his and his alone, but albums that he's been playing on. Well, first of all, this is almost a disqualifier. Celebration Day, okay? Celebration Day. Now, we're talking about the post-Zeppelin period. Celebration Day was recorded in 2007. However, most of us, and this walks away with the best album that Page has been on since Zeppelin broke up. But most of us consider this Zeppelin. I know I do. Michael Nolan does. The only change is John Bonham had died and his son, Jason Bonham, had taken his place. So if we're not considering this, and if this is what you guys want to do, we'll do it. But right now, we're not going to consider Celebration Day part of Jimmy Page's, post-Zeppelin work, because so many of us still consider it Led Zeppelin. Which is a little unusual for some of us. So anyway, in addition to Celebration Day, we've got Outrider from 1988 and Coverdale Page from 1993. Okay, well, I have Outrider from 1988, and I also have my old copy I bought as soon as it came out, Coverdale Page. Let's see if we can get that to show. Coverdale Page, sorry. And that came out, let's see, Coverdale Page came out in 93. Then we also have, and I have this also, Walking into Clarksville. And this was Jimmy Page and Robert Plant did this album together, Walking into Clarksville. Okay, so there's quite a bit of post-Zeppelin stuff out there. In addition to that, Jimmy Page formed a band called The Firm. Now, I don't have any of that. I have heard some songs, and they were fantastic. No Quarter Unleaded, Page and Plant in 1994. Lucifer Rising, 2012, a Page solo album. Death Wish 2 soundtrack for the movie Death Wish 2, 1982. The Honey Drippers Volume 1. Honey Drippers Volume 1 had both Jimmy Page and Robert Plant on it. Okay, so I've got that. I don't have them all, that's for sure. Then we also have Jimmy Page and the Black Crows. In 1984, well, okay, hold on one second. Let me check on the chat here. I want you guys to know, and if you're over at Michael's, you know it already. There's been someone, trolling us, masquerading as Michael Nolan. So if you see anybody that, the same picture, Michael's same picture, says the bottom line, but there's like a semicolon between Michael Nolan and the bottom line, which is not how Michael does it. So he slipped through my fingers once because I was, first of all, the show I was on when he popped up didn't have, nobody's wrenched up on that show, so I couldn't cancel him out. So anyway, so here we are. We're keeping our eye out for a Michael Nolan. It's not the real Michael Nolan, okay? So anyway, so let's get the show going here. All right, so Jimmy Page and the Black Crows live at the Greek. And I asked the question, is this Jimmy Page's, best work since Led Zeppelin? Okay. This is a 25-year-old, 25 anniversary box set. Right down here, it says 25-year anniversary box set. Okay. And it also says 180-gram vinyl, 6 albums from the legendary LA Greek shows. Okay. There's 36 remixed, remixed, and remastered. Okay. Tracks with 16 never released before Led Zeppelin and Black Crowes songs, including classics soundtracks. Several of the shows were done once again, and they were sound checks, not soundtracks. I'm sorry. Yeah, sound checks. Okay. So we're going to unbox that in a minute, but let me tell you why the original album, the original Live at the Greek album, was issued back in 2000. Here we are, 2026. That's why it's the 26th anniversary. Well, why did they reissue it? Well, number one, for contractual reasons with Columbia Records, the Black Crowes label, they were not allowed to put any of their songs on the album. Okay. So that all changed 26 years later. It changed to where they could put their albums on whatever they wanted. So this was remixed and remastered, adding all of the Black Crowes songs. Okay. So that's a little shocking, that whole story, really. So one of the more surprising live albums that come out in 2000, as I just mentioned, featured songs from a 2-night stand with the Black Crowes, Led Zeppelin icon Jimmy Page. But the fans hoping to hear Hard to Handle or She Talks to Angels were out of luck. Bizarrely, not a single Black Crowes song wound up on the album, and it was a double album set due to contractual problems with the management, and the record label, actually, Columbia Records. So 25 years later, it has been fixed with the release of the 6-album box set, as previously mentioned. Okay, so the 25th anniversary, 36-track remastered Jimmy Page's Black Crowes Live at the Greek was just released this March. Okay, so the original was released in 2000, but this has been released 26 years later, March 14th, 2025, restoring the 16 unreleased songs. The 36-track Jimmy Page and the Black Crowes Live at the Greek includes all the Black Crowes' big hits. Okay, so the whole project was very electric for us, very alive, says singer-songwriter Chris Robinson. I think we're all just excited that we were doing this as a band together. Okay, so let me back up here for a minute. I'm going to put a link up. I don't have a link up for my panel to join me yet. It got hit all of a sudden with I ran out of time. Okay. Okay, so the link is up. The link is up to join the panel. So I know there's some of the regulars are out there. Somebody new wants to join, they're welcome to. I see Bill K has joined us. My dear friend Bill K, brother from another. We go back a long ways. And let's see. So we've got the one and only Michael Nolan, the bottom line, next to me. And we're going to pull up now Novice Nick. And I don't know if anyone else is coming on. I'll throw the link out there one more time.
Hi, Nick. How you doing?
Hey, good to see you, Michael. Just caught you at the end there.
I noticed your
Glad
brother.
to be aboard, sir.
Hey, Royce, could I do a quick shout out from my last stream here, since it all kind of leaded into your stream?
Yeah, absolutely, Michael.
I want to thank. I'm trying to remember the three. Richard Mueller, Stormcop, aka James, and Divining Dragon, aka Christian, for batting some people right on out of the park tonight. I wasn't aware of that happening. I got one myself, and they're like flies, Royce. You got that type of thing.
You got to spot them. I came in, but
I didn't know that they were doing that. So we have a barrage of deputies. We have tribal elders and tribal chieftains that'll kick your ass.
Kick your ass. That's exactly right. Well,
So
thank
thanks,
you.
guys. I appreciate that. You're out there tonight. I can see you out there. And we couldn't do this show without you because the flies are in the ointment, right?
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. And
Yeah.
I missed an opportunity mainly because I wasn't wrenched up when I was on another show, Paul Psycho Platters. Nobody has a wrench over there, so nobody could
Yeah,
actually do anything. So
I know.
anyway,
I've
so
I've suggested that Paul get a hold of me, wrench me up. I won't take. I'll agree. I'll have a gentleman's agreement with him that I
right,
won't exercise any of the rights of a wrenched person. I won't time anybody out or anything like that. But
okay,
just to put me up there, and then people will see. For
right,
example, Royce, can you find my comment where I said, "Phew, where is that confounded bridge?" If you could bring that up right now, or find it up there, then I can explain to people how to find me in comments. Okay, it's real clear
yeah,
when it comes up, and as soon
right,
as Royce can get this up, then you can see because it's now become common knowledge. Now take a look at that. Not
right.
only do I have the colon instead of
The
the
co- the
semicolon,
right,
right? But the picture and everything looks identical. But do you
it does.
notice
Yeah,
I have a wrench?
you have a wrench,
Right?
exactly.
And on top of that, I have a red star next to my name. All right. So
Uh-huh.
because I'm a longtime channel member here. Hi, Dan.
Right,
I'm a
right,
longtime channel
right,
member
right.
here on Royce's. So, folks, unless you see at least a wrench out there in the comments, I can't say this will be true for Rachel's because I'm wrenched there. So it's probably true over on Rachel's. She does a behind the scenes kind of thing that I'm interested in. But if you see me, it'll be with a channel that I know I've been wrenched up with. Other than that, anything out of that foul person's little mouth or his minions, or actually, I think it's a guy that has schizophrenia because I think a lot of these guys are the same guy. And we know that, but
Yeah,
he
well,
who shall not be named shall not
we've
be
seen
named. You're not going to get any sunlight on this channel, chum.
we've seen that before. The
Yep,
same people coming back over and over again. No matter how many times we throw them off, they come back. I see them backstage under a completely
right.
different name after I've thrown them off, and you can just see them. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
it's just enough to drive you crazy, really.
It
I mean,
is. And a big congratulations, Dan, to your video that's doing so well. And thank you for your super thanks, brother. Always. I appreciate that.
Oh, always, man.
yeah, yeah. Well, I just wanted to say I have some shout outs myself from last week's show. We had a new member join, and that was John Foster, became a new member, and we also had multiple super chats. Dan, just the facts man, one, Novice Nick, another, Storm Cop 55, another, and Ben Scheidegger, another one. So I want to give thanks to all of you guys once again. We really appreciate you helping the channel out, and this is going to be a fun show tonight. So we've already found out that the Black Crows and Jimmy Page performed, 1999, 2000. They even went on tour together. They did a lot of concerts at the Greek Theater. They made a double album. Contractual disputes didn't allow them to have, Columbia Records, a label, wouldn't let them put their songs on it. Okay. So that was all corrected with the 26th anniversary. I listened to this over the last 2 days, every single song. And I got to tell you guys right now, I absolutely love it. I'm going to open it up. We're going to go through it. We're going to talk about it, and really looking forward to it. Catching up a little bit on the chat here. Hey, George, music for all 4 seasons. Good to see you, my man. Novice Nick, Dr. Rick, Kevin Hall, James.
Divining Dragon Christian, I live with they've ceased in the last 2 years, knock on wood. I've lived with migraines. He's having to bow out, Royce. That's why I
Okay.
interjected.
I'm sorry.
Christian, we're sorry to see you go, but I know what you're up against, brother. And
Yeah.
blessings. Ice packs, and darkened rooms is what it took to help me.
Is that what it was?
All my
Michael?
life, up until about 2 years ago, I still get them, but I only get them like once or twice a year. Well, I got them like every 3 or 4 days from the time I was 8 years old up until I was about 67. Maybe it's been 3 years. Yeah, since they just magically they haven't stopped, but I've lived with it. It's crippling. And
Oh man, I'm telling you.
I'm talking about earth headaches that are like Mount freaking Vesuvius. See what I did
Yeah,
there?
yeah.
I had to make a mention of Pink Floyd sometime tonight since we're gonna be talking about Jimmy Page.
Right. And I did see your show, Michael. I left a big long
Oh,
comment on
brother, you know what happened on
the
my channel
starter of
is
it too.
yeah, I did a like I do with your show sometimes. I did an edited version, a 12
Okay.
minute slice, actually several slices, and it just the
Right,
editing
right.
went so well. I went, damn, that's like a video. And so I put it together, I put it out as a video. Now, the original one is hinging on, the stream. You get lesser views with streams. But
Right, right, right.
my streams usually get about 1,000 views, and it's coming
Yeah.
up on that. But this one, the last time I looked at it was at like, I think 3.7 thousand in just a few hours, and I've gotten like 35 subscribers on it in less than 15 hours, and it's just talking about that damn album, which I will compare that album to the album we're discussing tonight, because the one thing Royce and I will agree on, this is a freaking wonderful album. And I'm talking specifically the album I know without the Black Crows songs. I
Yeah.
bought that album the second it came out. I played that day and night for a good year and a half at my
Awesome.
house.
Awesome.
Kimberly and I had just been married 3 or 4 years when that came out. And Rachel was running around as little princess this or little princess that, mermaid this, right? She's now in college, but
Oh wow.
it was
Wow.
a different day. And that album just screamed. What a vocal delivery,
Right.
and yet different, yet the same as
Mhm.
Robert Plant. But Royce, here I'm going to say one thing. I would,
Go
I
ahead.
would, I would agree with you that the
Celebration.
Page and
Yeah.
Black Crows album. No, I don't agree with you there. I don't think that's truly Led Zeppelin, but it is as close as we're going to get. It is
Right.
akin. It is a cousin to Led Zeppelin,
Yeah.
definitely, and I
The,
love
the,
that.
the DNA
Uh,
is there.
Right. And so that album, not being Led Zeppelin, it does become kind of a Page album, a John Paul Jones album, and a Robert Plant album all
Right.
in one, kind of.
All
And
in
so,
one. That's
so
exactly
if I
right.
had to choose between this one and the Black Crows Jimmy Page, I would have to go with Celebration Day.
Yeah.
But
Oh, I would too. I would too.
but this album would be like number two for me because I think the best post Led Zeppelin album by Jimmy Page is Coverdale Page. I think it's a masterpiece.
Yeah.
So
Were
yeah.
you in the show when I showed my CD copy of that?
Oh, that's
No,
Walking
no,
into
no.
Clarksdale, right?
That's Walking into Clarksville. That's correct. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
that's an album I wish they hadn't
I
made.
showed them both. Yeah.
I'm not a fan of that album. I had such
Okay.
high hopes for it.
Okay.
It was such a disappointment.
Well, I want to say that I can't even keep up with the chat when I'm not even talking. So there's going to be there's going to be gaps there, folks. But I just want to welcome Robbie Detroit. Really appreciate seeing my brother Robbie Detroit here. We go back a long ways too, and Bill K and Angela, and appreciate everybody. Dr. Rick, Dwayne Wolotica, Divining Dragon. Really appreciate you guys being here. And so let's we need to get on to the show because what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to unbox.
Can I add a paragraph to the end of Michael's paragraph?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. Two things. First of all, I said one. I lied. Number one, I think you can take the Jimmy Page Black Crows album and just for ease of search and finding, file it with Led Zeppelin. This
Oh,
way,
there's no question about that. Yeah,
right. So let's just file it there along with our
right,
other Led Zeppelin albums
right,
because it,
right.
it belongs there, in my opinion.
You
And
know,
number two, my
okay,
second thing is I think we ought to start tapping this thing right here, that like button, because it means so much the algorithm,
Yeah, no,
so we
no,
can
that's
reach
that's
out.
exactly right. It does mean a
Yes.
lot.
While you're working there, I figured I'd carry this for a minute.
We're
But yeah,
only
we
12
That's
definitely
away
great.
we
from a
got
bump up,
45,
folks.
46. How to go to 44
Oh,
after
okay.
46?
I'm
Hey,
only reading
Okay,
39. My
be
goodness.
kind,
I'm
friends.
lagged.
okay. So here we go, guys.
Yes.
Six albums, right? And we're gonna go
No,
through these. We're gonna go
I
through
counted a
these. I
couple
want to.
more.
Okay. Okay. Looks like we've got a poster here. I saw this. I just now opened this. Just now cut the shrink wrap open.
Oh, I like
Got a
that.
poster here.
Yeah, I like
It says
that.
on the back. It's
Absolutely.
yeah, on the back it says Jimmy Page guitar, Chris Robinson vocals, Rich Robinson guitar and vocals,
Mhm.
Sven Pippin bass, Eddie Harsh keyboards, Audley Freed guitar, and Steve Gorman drums. Okay,
Mm.
so that's cool. I like this little thing. And let's see which one is album one and which one is album six. Let's get started on the right end. Not sure that matters, but we're gonna find out real soon. Okay.
Yeah.
So what we have here is vinyl number 6. Okay. Let's turn this around. Yeah, I really enjoyed listening to this the last couple of
Oh, it
days.
was an awesome album.
I wasn't able
It
to
is.
listen to my own albums because I promised a true unboxing. So
I
here
was
we go.
listening to it all day today. I love it. I think it's
Oh, I
great.
know. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so what do we have on this album?
Celebration
boy,
Day.
speak of the
Speaking of
devil.
which,
Celebration Day,
The
custard
devil,
pie,
you say?
sick again.
yes.
Then we have no speak, no slave, hard to handle, kind of a Black Crow staple. The Wanton
Mhm.
Song and Misty Mountain Hop.
What a
Okay.
way to start.
Yeah, I know, isn't that right? I'm not going to take the vinyl out of all these. I'll just pull it out of one. It's 180 gram vinyl. 180 gram vinyl here. Okay, and yeah, now I can play the vinyls now that I've opened it. Other than that, I had to listen to it streaming, but at least I could do that.
Oh, it's so good. Oh no, vinyl.
I know it's going to be much better than the streaming, and I enjoyed the hell out of the streaming. Okay, so
Mhm.
that's number one, album one. Okay, this is vinyl number two. Vinyl number two, right there.
Ah, beautiful.
Okay, and this comes with
Yes.
Hot Song for Nowhere. What is and what should never be. God, that sounded good today. Wiser Time, Mellow Down Easy, Woke Up This Morning, my baby, she was gone, and 10 Years Gone. Boy, did that sound great
Yes.
too.
Yeah.
That's some
Yes.
pictures on the back and stuff.
Absolutely.
Okay. Album number 3 says Working Vinyl 3.
Yes.
Okay. This is a great picture of these guys too. I might even have that picture.
Did you say this was a live album?
Yes, this is live at the Greek Theater.
And
Yes.
people say live albums suck. Well, this is not
Oh.
one of them.
That's right.
This is
I haven't
not
said
one
that
of
in a
them.
long time. I really like the lives.
Yeah.
I love
Well,
live albums, Nick. I'm one of those
when
guys that just for a good live album. That doesn't mean I like Frampton Comes Alive, though.
right when they're
Yeah.
mic'd properly or engineered properly, they can be some of the best music. But
Right,
Yeah.
there's a
Yeah.
reason why people say live suck. But this
right,
isn't one of them.
Well,
right. Now,
I love that this was both remixed and remastered.
Yes. It
And
was
I
done
can
so
remember
well.
our good friend Dave from Safe and Sound saying remixing is you can do so much more with the album
Yep.
than just remastering. So to have both,
well,
remixing.
let's talk about what remixing is versus
Okay.
remastering. Okay.
Okay, let's do it.
So when you get an album that's been remastered, basically you are taking the master tape that has already been mixed and you're remastering it. And there's a limited amount of things that you
That
can
you can-
do
Yeah.
to adjust the tonalities and whether the bass is too present. Back in the day, one of the things that got in the way was if you presented the bass, if the mix presented the bass too much, right? then it would jump off the stylus. So the mastering engineer would kind of saw that stuff off with some basic finite equipment. And some of them became mastering engineers, became so famous because they turned it even into an art form itself. But it doesn't affect how loud the oboe is. Now, when
Yeah,
you're
right,
remixing, you're going back to the original tape. Let's say it's an original 4-track tape because that's easier to talk about. That means on track 1, you may have your drums. Track 2, bass. Track 3, maybe both guitars at this point, or one
yeah,
of the guitars, and track 4 sharing a guitar that's buried in the center with the lead vocal. Now you can take that and you can slide the slider controls. You can bring the bass up more or down. You can bring the guitars up. You can now use panning controls to bring the guitars over here, the vocal slightly there, or hard left like a lot of the Beatles mixes, which is why we're getting a lot of remixes on Beatles stuff, is there was a lot of hard panning, right? But usually
yeah,
you're looking for stereo field that it encompasses all of that, but you're looking for a 45-degree shootout kind of thing. Then when they remix it now, usually a Kevin Gray or somebody like that comes in
Uh-huh.
and goes, oh, and now with even newer equipment, we can really polish it off. So when you get a remixed and remastered album, you're getting something that has been rebuilt from the ground up. Enough
Yes.
said. Okay. Just so
okay,
now we know where we are. Okay.
right, right. Okay, thank you. Thank you,
Sure.
Michael. And you know what? I have to apologize. I didn't do a proper introduction to the panel here. Of course, we all know Michael Nolan next to me here. The bottom line, most of us came from his show before this show. Michael goes, well, it goes several times throughout the week, but he has a live every Sunday at 5 p.m. and it usually ends at 6, a little after 6, and then we move over to my show at 6:30 p.m. So Michael Nolan,
We are a
Michael,
powerful duel, Royce.
that's right, that's
We
right,
offer an entire Sunday evening of entertainment,
of
right?
entertainment, that's right. Been joined by our good friend Paul 401. Paul lives actually in the country of Colombia. Good
Tribal
friend.
elder.
Yeah, tribal elder. He goes back a long ways with Dan and I and Bill Kay and Caitlin and a bunch
As
of us.
is Dan.
As
As
is
is
Dan.
Oberheim. We've
As
got the tribe. As is Ben.
we are the tribe. I think I'll just adopt that
Yes.
tribe junior or something.
Tribal elders and tribal chieftains, one and all, we
Okay.
salute you.
Good to see you.
Right. Thank you, guys. I mean, if there's anybody out there, do me a proper that hasn't hit that thumbs up, hit that thumbs up because it just catapults the show and we get more views throughout the week and stuff like that. And it helps us grow.
Absolutely.
And if there's anybody out there that's not a subscriber yet, please do me a proper and hit that subscribe button. Helps us grow. And one last
Royce
thing.
is closing in on 2,000. He just recently got to 1,000. Guys, we're less than 100 away. Less than 100 away to get
Yeah.
Royce to 2,000 subscribers. So help us out.
Yeah, that would be. I'm really looking forward to that milestone and beyond.
Royce, P401 just sent Royce in the house a gift memberships.
Yeah.
You might want to.
Oh, 5. He gifted 5 memberships, folks. So if you want to grab
Oh,
a
there you
membership,
go.
you get a month free membership. I put a couple of new videos on for members only, and I can promise you I'll be putting like at least 2 on a week until I get it really well stocked now. So we've got Paul from Colombia has gifted us 5 memberships. They go
right.
first come, first serve, guys. Just
Thanks, Paul.
get in there and jump
And so
on them, okay?
P401 is
Hey,
Paul now,
Michael, I think we just got joined by the other Michael Nolan.
Yep.
Did we?
I think he's been
Yeah.
booted.
Shut him down, folks. Shut him down. Knock him out of the park.
Well, I
have the power.
just banned him and deleted his message.
Yes.
Yeah. He's a pesky little cretin, isn't he?
Yeah, boy, I tell you, he almost slipped by us there for a minute. I looked up and
Uh-huh.
I go, Michael Nolan, and I noticed what he,
You
what
know
he
what?
had.
Even I don't wake up in the morning and go, Michael Nolan. You know,
Yeah.
I kind of got to wonder where it's coming from. You know?
Well,
Oh
he
God,
he
no
had a
kidding.
he had a semicolon behind the name, so that's
I
what we were
know.
Yeah.
expecting.
Exactly. Okay, so directly below Michael, the show's going to be over before I even introduce him, is our good friend Novice Nick. Novice Nick is a big music rock and roll
Yeah.
aficionado, has tons and tons of albums, more than probably the most of us will ever have combined, but great
Well,
Yeah.
collection.
I'll
You
never
got
reach that level in my
hey,
life.
you've got the most insane system too, don't you, Nick? Give
it,
us just a brief synopsis of your actual system
well,
that you play your vinyl on.
over a period of time, and thank you for the intro. Happy Mother's Day. Uh, just a brief cover. I can do Atmos music, Atmos movies. That's a full solid state system. It's a 7.2.4 in the ceiling. As far as music goes, I have an Oppo player so I can listen to almost any format on shiny discs. Then we can go over to the analog system that's all tube, and that can be, access all my vinyl. And it's a beautiful thing. I'm blessed. It didn't happen overnight. It took a lot of years of planning and finding this the system that gelled together. Can't think of the word, but I'm sure everybody out there knows it. It's where all the
Right.
gear meshes well together and plays nice.
Right on.
And I'm very blessed. So the missus is into the system as well, and I guess
That
that's
always
another.
helps, doesn't it?
Yeah, she's purchased quite a few pieces that
That's
just.
awesome.
Yep. So
Yeah.
That's
I am
awesome.
blessed beyond belief. I still have mom here who's 91 years young, so there's a great Mother's Day
Yeah.
that we enjoyed, and I'm blessed to have friends here in the community. So thank you for the introduction, and I'm glad to be here.
Okay, awesome. And next to Novice Nick is the one and only Just the Facts Man, our good friend Dan. And Dan and I go
Dan the
back a long
man.
ways, I guess 5 years now, Dan, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
about
And
5 years.
I
Yeah.
want to let everybody know, go check out Just the Facts Man, okay? Dan covers a lot of stuff, including
Mhm.
rock and roll and things like that. And he's got a lot of friends in the music industry, and he's
Yep.
got a lot to say about them. But he recently covered that Russian space. What was it?
It was a
like
Venus. It was a Venus lander. That's what it
yeah.
was.
Okay. And he covered that landing and got 48,000 plus views.
Wow.
And at one
Well-
time, I had over 2,000 people in the chat.
Oh my goodness.
Talk about not being able to keep up with your chat.
Yeah.
No,
Good
I did
Lord.
it. I did when the stream first started, but as it picked up, it's like I was out. I
Yeah.
couldn't.
Oh,
Yeah.
Congratulations.
I totally hear you that. So anyway, guys, if there are any of those gift memberships left from Paul Sawalski,
Looks like a
well-
couple of people have taken advantage of it,
yeah,
Roy.
yeah. Grab them up. Grab them up. They're first come, first serve.
Yep.
Go to the bottom of the screen, bottom of the chat. You'll see a place where they were gifted. There should be like a dollar sign there. You go in there and you just claim one of them. And yeah, so and we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna keep loading videos on members only videos and try to make the membership even more exciting, in the hopes that you guys eventually, when your 1 month free is up, go ahead and pick up the membership and keep going with it. Got to make it worth your while, and that's on me to do that. So anyway, thank you guys, thank you so much. And so all right, we covered a little chat. Okay, Winslow, my pleasure. So it looks like so it looks like our buddy Winslow Red Cross grabbed one. Thank you, 401. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, grab them up, guys. Grab them up. You won't get an offer like this every day. And Paul, I really appreciate this. Guys, this is the second time Paul's done that. Second time in maybe 2 to 3 weeks. So that's a total of 10 memberships Paul P401 has gifted the show. So we really appreciate you, Paul. I mean, that's absolutely amazing, brother. Piccolina's here. Okay, so let's we've introduced everybody.
Brian from Tokyo Records is introducing himself. How you doing, Brian? Good to see you out there. Another content creator. We support other content creators here.
We absolutely.
Nova's Nick came in with a $2 super thanks, Royce.
Oh my God, I gotta get down here.
Let's get the ball rolling.
Look at that. Look
Isn't
at
that something?
that.
Isn't that something?
Nick, thanks you.
Ain't that
Thank you
something?
so
I love
much,
it.
man. Wow. I gotta make a couple of notes while we're talking here.
Yeah, let's make it a super chat night.
There you go.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
You know, one thing, you know, I know you're covering the album tonight. You're covering that album itself, the release of the album, but something I'd like to suggest too, you know, if you don't have the album, go out on YouTube. There's a playlist that shows the entire concert of Jimmy Page and the Black Crows at Jones Beach. It's not at the Greek,
right?
But it's that excellent concert. Now
I've not seen that. Yeah, that's available on YouTube. You say?
Yeah. The footage is a little grainy. The footage is a little grainy, but the sound is good. I had a blast on the stereo last night. It was like being there live. It was an excellent concert live.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Novice Nick. Thank you, Paul.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I just sent you a private message there.
Royce. But you know what, Royce? What needs to be said about this album and the identity and the blending of the Black Crows and Jimmy Page via the Led Zeppelin approach and all of that is
go ahead, Michael.
Well, first of all, you know, Led Zeppelin had its base on the blues. We've talked about that until we're blue in the face. But it's not the thing that your casual fan will go, oh, yeah, Led Zeppelin, great blues band. You know, they think heavy metal, they think, or at least
hard rock,
right?
Yeah.
So here we go. And then we got the Black Crows, which got compared a whole lot early in their career to the new Rolling Stones, kind of a blues-based band. Right. Here we have this blues-based band that's known to be a blues-based band, no more technically savvy, really, than, say, the Rolling Stones. And we present Led Zeppelin. That's the album I've heard. I Want Yours. I'm going to come over to your house and steal it in the dead of the night, Royce. But the album I bought on CD, the album I bought on CD proves the point. It's always been about the blues, even with Led Zeppelin.
Always all the time. Blues.
Dan comes in with a $10 super thanks. Thank you, Dan.
Dan the man.
Right, Dan.
Thank you, Dan.
There you go. And who was it? And
thank you so much, brother. Really
Storm
appreciate
Cop's
it,
in with $10, Royce.
Oh my goodness, Storm Cop. Storm Cop, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Storm Cop says it's such an honor to be among the great YouTube creators who actually care about their sounds and share their love or true classic rock and roll. I salute you. Storm Cop, we salute you. And by the way, I caught your thing. He made an earlier comment where he was almost going, let me at him. Let me at him. You know, he troll. Right. You guys better be very careful out there, because we got a Storm Cop on patrol.
That's right.
Storm
Cop. You know, if I remember correctly, I think Storm Cop and I were in the Navy at different times, but stationed at the same spot over in Guam.
No kidding.
Yeah,
that's wild.
James is also, I believe, a retired policeman as well, and retired on disability. Always, James, thank you for your service in whatever capacity you've served the world and the greatest nation in the world, as far as I'm concerned. Now, with Dan, all deference to our English and Australian and Canadian audiences, I'm not cutting you down, but everybody's got to have a little bit of pride in their own country, right? That's all I'm saying.
Absolutely. Now, Dan, was that your grandson that just joined the Marines?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I just thought I'd mention that. You definitely come from a military family.
4 generations so far. I was, the second generation.
Yeah. Right. Your son was Navy also, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was Navy for 6 years over in Japan, and he's also part of the intelligence community too, as well. He had a top secret clearance. And I used to ask him, what do you do? And he said, well, I could tell you, but I got to kill you.
I love that.
And I'm
I love that.
dying to tell you.
It was.
Right.
Okay. So let's see. Where were we, guys? Where were we? Okay.
We were
Oh,
discussing how close Led Zeppelin actually is to the blues, even pieces that later pieces they did. This album is an excellent example of how Led Zeppelin can be played by a blues band with kind of a blues approach, but at the same time maintain every element of integrity to the original Led Zeppelin sound.
Yeah.
How did they do that,
Well,
Royce? Isn't that wonderful?
I'm going to tell you something. I was really impressed with the Black Crows. I've seen them in concert.
Oh, absolutely.
And I wasn't nearly as impressed the time I saw them. They hadn't been playing together in a long time.
Royce, sorry to interrupt you, but Rockin' Robin Bird's in with $5 super thanks. Thank you, ma'am.
Rockin' Robin Bird. Oh my goodness.
We appreciate it. Thank you, darling. It's not true. People can claim these membership gifts. I tried. YouTube auto selects. Really? That's interesting.
I had never heard that before.
We need to look into that, Royce. I'm so sorry, Rockin' Robin Bird.
Very sorry.
But you know what? As we're working through the kinks and everything, this is how we'll be notified. This is how we'll learn. And thanks for letting us know, because there ain't no grift on this side, people.
No,
nothing.
No.
Royce, did you see my private message?
No, I have not seen that yet. Okay. Let's see.
Again, thank you, James.
Okay, no, I don't see it.
You don't see my private message?
Yeah, look at the top. Let's say private chat.
Yeah. Select private chat at the top next to comments.
I hear you, Kevin. But some of my favorite Cowboys are Aussies, man.
Okay,
and New Zealanders. I hear you, though.
I'm in what's called starred, and all of the.
No, go above that. Go above that and to the left. Private chat.
It's actually not showing up there.
Really? It should be right next to where it says comments.
No, it's not. I have live and I have starred.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Hey, can you guys see?
Yeah, I have no access from my end on any private chats at all.
Can you guys see the screen that I have up called starred? It's like all the super chats in that right now.
Yeah,
no, I don't see it.
Okay. Yeah, I see
That's
it.
weird. But I'm on YouTube. I don't see it. Okay.
Yeah, that's right. You guys are on YouTube. Okay. No,
I'm on StreamYard now.
Oh, you're on StreamYard.
Yeah,
oh, okay.
I can see it.
Gotcha.
Oh no, it says StreamYard. Yeah, StreamYard.com. Well, I don't know. Okay. Well.
Okay.
All right. It can wait.
Caitlin, how you doing, darling?
It can wait. Okay, so let's get back to some unboxing here. Okay.
Absolutely.
This was the third of 6, and it's got In My Time of Dying, Your Time Is Gonna Come, 2 great songs.
Yes.
Remedy, like I said, a Black Crow staple, and the Lemon Song, which they also do at the end of the album as a kind of a sound check. They do it again, and it's great on both accounts. So anyway, so that's 3 of the 6 albums. And what I wanted to say though is I was trying to be as critical as I could when I was listening to this album, because you know what? Okay, looks like we just got a super chat, Michael Boswell.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you, Michael. And he says, "Hail, rock and roll." Oh, couldn't agree more.
Michael, thank you so much. Much appreciated.
Certainly.
And, yeah. We're doing pretty good tonight. Paul came in with the 5 free. I wonder if let's see, Rockin' Robin Bird. I wonder if she actually if they'd already been passed out already. Because 5 of them can go really fast.
Yeah,
in like a couple of minutes.
The only thing I could say the only thing I can say about that is who was it? Ben Tredegar bought what was it? 10 of
Yeah.
those, and
Yeah.
they were gone in under 2 minutes on my channel.
Yeah.
So there may be something about that, you know.
I'm wondering.
Yeah,
You know.
I'm not sure. I didn't have. Alls I know is actually. I think maybe somebody even missed out on it, and attempting to miss out on it, they went ahead and even joined. I had 2 people who just went ahead and joined because
yeah.
oh, I missed that, but you know what? I can give
Let's
it a
join.
month's try.
Right.
You know,
Right.
Yeah.
Michael Boswell, thank you once again, brother. Really
absolutely,
appreciate it.
Michael.
Yeah.
You are a rock star. Man.
Rock star, tribal member. Bill, what a jip.
So, are we up to the third disc yet?
Yeah, we just passed the 3rd disc. Let's get
Just passed
All right.
Yeah, we went through actually let's see. Maybe I set this down. Yeah, no, I hadn't talked about this one yet.
Hey, Royce, how much does this box set go for around the neighborhood?
It was $119.
Oh, that's not bad.
It was ordered on Saturday at Amazon Prime, which we have free delivery. Delivered it on Sunday.
Oh, you good Lord.
They keep all these little warehouses all over the place.
Here's my
sucker.
Here's my private chat. If you'd like my private chat, well, it didn't paste. It's on Amazon for $70.
Okay.
Oh.
Wait, your private chat?
Oh.
Hey, wait, guys, wait a minute. P401 is going to put one more free membership on. Rock and Robin, are you there? Pete, did you see this? It's up on the screen right now. He's putting go down right now. He's putting one more membership up and see if we can time this just right. Thank you.
Now,
Paul.
Everybody, ladies first. Be gentlemen.
First.
Give her a moment and then feed like sharks. All right. But give her a moment. Let's be gentlemen.
Thanks so much, Paul. That was so kind to you.
If you'll scroll to my post.
It's just like giving a tip of the hat and opening a door. It's that easy. Just give her a moment.
Right. Also, I hit her on gifting. It's just said that YouTube auto. Oh, I see. Hey, okay, there's one more membership up. Rock and Robin. Now, Nick, explain to me what you were saying when I interrupted you to talk about this new membership.
Oh, it's okay. I just posted on comments, and there's a link there.
Okay.
In the link on Amazon is $70.48 for the 6 discs box set.
You're kidding me.
That is a steal. Oh God, I gotta get it.
That's a steal.
I gotta
get it.
Yeah, that's
$70 for 6 albums.
No.
What does that turn out to be? 11, 12 bucks an album? LP?
Yeah, here's the link is up right now, guys.
I'd say that's a fair price. I'd say that's a really fair price.
Somebody already grabbed that membership.
Okay.
Even at 120 bucks, it ain't bad, you know.
No. Yeah, God, that's really a steal.
But if you can save 50 bucks on it, dude.
You think?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
that's
it makes
amazing.
me feel sad now.
Look at that.
But is what it is. I'm sharing it out there.
The Ritz in New York
That's
City.
what you do with your friends, right?
That's exactly what you do. There's a setting in your profile you have to change to accept gifts, etc. So maybe Rock and Robin, that was the problem. I know I had to reset it in my profile to be able to allow people to give gifts because I didn't have that turned on. It auto sends you YouTube auto selects. Okay. I wonder if you look up at what let's see. Okay. It looks like there's a setting. Okay, maybe you can check this, Rock and Robin. Oberheim, Brandon is telling us there's a setting in your profile that you have to change in order to accept gifts. And I know I had to change my settings to accept gifts for the show because they weren't on. People started saying, "Hey, I wanted to leave you something, and I couldn't," and so I had a setting I had to change. Okay, so we'll continue to investigate that. We've got George Pita, my brother, Rockin' Robin. Man, no one believes me. No, I do believe you. I do believe you. Believe me, we'll make this right one way or another. We believe you for sure, Rockin' Robin.
Oh yeah.
There's only been one person that suggested that.
No,
Did you?
Rock and Robin, you've been right there for both channels, and I want to see you get that membership. I really do.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. Bench there. I wish there was an easy way to specify gift memberships to people. All right. Well, let's see. Rockin' Robin, read before you hit membership. It even says YouTube auto selects. Change the settings, and I'll send out one more for you, Rock. I can't choose you.
So see if you can change your settings, ma'am, and then when you're done with that, then make a thing. I've changed it. Try it or something like that in the comments, and then maybe we can get this fixed.
Yeah. Thank you, Paul. God, that'd be like 7. That's crazy. Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't mean crazy. I mean it's super cool.
Awesome, yeah. Paul. Thank you so much.
Okay, so let's. Okay, she says, "No, I am trying to send membership, and it even says YouTube auto selects."
How about that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Wow. Huh.
Getting difficult.
I know before I stream, I always have to hit enable monetization. And that seems, it's the basic way of just streaming through YouTube, the app, which is how I do it.
Okay.
Yeah. But, well, interesting.
Yeah.
Let's go on.
Let's go ahead and take a look at this vinyl number 4. Okay.
Yes.
And what we have on here is In the Light, Shake Your Moneymaker, another Black Crow staple, Sloppy Drunk Blues. That's got to be the Black Crows. I would have heard about it if it was Led Zeppelin. Shape of Things, Nobody's Fault But Mine, and Heartbreaker. What a great job!
Those are good ones.
Yeah,
Shape of Things, huh?
Shape of Things, Nobody's Fault But Mine, and Heartbreaker. I'm going to tell you something.
All good stuff.
I got to admit, and I'll mimic what Vance Zepp Pearl said. I was on Zepp Pearl's show when he was showing not only this, but the 2-album set, the original, and the single album that had come out, Black Crows and Jimmy Page. And Zepp said, well, Chris Robinson did good, but he's no Robert Plant. And there you go.
That's the single.
Is that the
I'm
single?
Sorry, that's the double.
Okay, that's the double. I was going to ask if that was the double.
Yep, it's in white.
Right on. And Vance is right. He's no Robert Plant, but there are snippets.
But he ain't bad.
He's not bad at all. There are snippets, but if that's all you heard, you might think it was Robert Plant. Yep. And then there's other things like Whole Lot of Love that we've all heard. Oh my God. I hear that in my sleep sometimes. I've heard it so many times going all the way back to when it came out.
And it never gets old.
And it never gets old.
Never gets old.
But a song like that, like Whole Lot of Love, clearly he doesn't sound like Robert Plant. But like I said, he does in a lot of other places. And although he doesn't sound like Robert Plant in a lot of it, he's very, very decent and does a very, very
and besides, it's not supposed to be Robert Plant. It's Page and it's Zoso and the Black Crows.
Well, no, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. So,
3-disc set.
That's the 3-disc set. There's so many variations out there. I think Zepp Pearl had them on when I was over on his
Well, the 3-disc set is the one I had, and that's the one that only has Zeppelin material, right?
That's from the 2000 release, right?
Yeah.
Right. And then the 6 is from this year.
The 6 is the 25th anniversary from
that's the
this
Southern
March.
box.
This March.
Yes.
And so, that's the only one with the Black Crows on it.
You know, I always
Yeah.
wondered about
Yeah.
that
Look
too.
at that. Yeah.
You know,
Go ahead.
when
Go ahead, Dan.
when they got Jimmy Page to perform with them, they thought it was a good idea. This is going to be great. So they go to the Greek. Now, what I don't understand, did the Black Crowes record every concert they did, or they specifically go into the Greek knowing they're going to record it with Jimmy Page and make an album out of it? If so, you would have thought that they would have contacted the record company ahead of time to get the approval to get their songs on that album.
Well, that's that's an interesting point.
They
Yeah.
actually toured together, and
Yeah,
that was
but
one of the shows,
See,
But I think it was a contractual thing that stopped them.
Well, now there's also something,
the record label, Columbia. Go ahead.
Now
Dan.
the tour was kind of controversial too, because the Black Crowes had 50 shows set up. Jimmy Page only attended 11 of them, and he bowed out, claiming he had a bad back. But
I remember,
there was also some internal fighting going on too with the drummer, Steve Gorman, and supposedly Jimmy Page told Chris Robinson, "Look, I'd like to be in some of your writing for the next song, the next album." And evidently, Rich said, "We don't need any more songs." And it was immediately after that Jimmy Page left the tour.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
I think there was some concern with the band that this was going to be a Billy Preston moment, and they're talking about another Crow, and they didn't like that within the band.
Well, Jimmy is a domineering personality as well. So
right, and I think Jimmy really did want to be part of that. I think he wanted.
He did.
Sure.
And
but they recognized that he was a heavy is a kind word sometimes to
a little heavy-handed
control.
Okay.
Well, he does like his control.
What Jimmy Page said about that too, he said that he said he felt honored to be performing with the Black Crowes, and he goes, and I think they feel honored to be performing with me too.
Absolutely.
Right.
I'm sure.
They love that partnership. Okay. Now Storm Cop asked a really good question. Does anyone know the date those albums were originally released? Now I know the 2 or 3 album set, I think, was 2000, right, Nick?
February 29, 2000 is when the Greek was released.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Okay.
And it was recorded in October '99.
There you go.
Okay. And how about the single and the double? Was that all in the same year?
I'm not sure.
I don't believe so.
Okay. So I guess
you're making money. You're pressing platters. Why would you flood the market with the same music? So I imagine that
wouldn't make any sense, would it?
Come on. If anything, Jimmy's a smart businessman.
Yeah,
and the Crowes aren't any slouches.
Yes,
okay?
he is. Yeah.
Okay, then. Just out of that thought, you don't have to think past that it didn't all come out in the same year.
I love this
comment.
On it. Love this comment from James Watson. Michael is the ghost of rock's past. That's great. You got to love the chat. You just never know what you're going to see next.
Oh, yeah. Well, we got the greatest members here, I'm telling you.
Okay, so Rockin' Robin Bird.
I found starred.
Says that it says lucky recipients choose by YouTube will receive. And that's when I go to send a membership. That's when I go to send a membership. Wow. We got to get to the bottom of this. I don't.
So I guess it's a thing that haphazardly YouTube chooses the recipients. I would imagine it's from those of you in the chat. I mean, according to what she's saying, what I'm saying here,
I didn't know that. At
by
all.
the way, Royce, Paul also sent out 5 more gifts for you.
Oh, wow. Nice.
You're kidding me.
So, yeah.
Hey.
So,
very kind.
Right.
Very, very,
and you know what?
kind.
I'm clicking on that from Kimberly's iPad, who I don't think is a member. Certainly not with this account. And it doesn't give me the option to join either. So it may be a thing where
okay.
It's the discretion of the YouTube algorithm, or algo demon, like I like to call it.
Right.
Yeah, it is you who. I mean,
well, that's a total of 11 memberships from Paul.
But if indeed it is that, it wouldn't be my preferable way of doing it. I'd love to see, people being able to grab onto that and everything.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
but
I didn't
don't let
know
that
that.
stop you from gifting memberships, because I'm sure the algorithm is designed to see, participation, things like that. It ain't dumb. It's just an algo demon. That's all. We have to contend with, and we're sorry that you're going through that. But don't let that stop you. It's good for your
Yeah,
channel either
no.
way, right?
Exactly, exactly.
Absolutely, absolutely. So thank you, Paul.
Thank you so much, Paul.
Yep.
Just
Okay.
number 4.
This number 4.
I'll keep you on track. Don't you worry.
That's quite all right. That's
Yeah,
quite
let's
all
get
right.
this
No,
party started again, Royce.
we just did number 4. Okay, we're on number 5.
Okay.
Bring it on
Keep.
home. Bring it on home. She talks to angels.
Yeah.
Another
One of my faves.
yeah, that was a really good Black Crow songs. One of my
Yeah.
maybe my favorite too.
Well, you've mentioned 3 or 4 of my favorites already. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh well, band's intro. Hey, hey, what can I do? You shook me. Out on the tiles and a whole lot of love.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is vinyl number 5. We are down to vinyl number 6, folks.
One thing I
And,
really liked. One thing I really
go
liked
ahead, go ahead, Dan.
on the "Bring It On Home" song.
Yeah.
I didn't know Chris Robin could play the harmonica.
And very well, didn't he?
Oh
my
yeah,
God.
yeah.
I had to
Good
listen to that. I
stuff.
had to listen to those harmonica parts twice.
Like I said, file this right in your Led
No,
Zeppelin section.
he's say what you will, if you're going to compare him to Plant, or or to Steve Marriott, or some of the
Yeah.
biggies,
Yeah.
Bobby Tench with the Jeff Beck group. But there
Right.
is no freaking doubt whatsoever for a moment that Chris Robinson isn't a consummate frontman in the very best tradition of being a frontman in a blues rock band. He is supreme. He does it
Time
well.
out.
Yeah, he does. He
Time out.
does. Okay,
Time
go
out.
Yeah.
ahead. Go
Yeah, but
ahead. Go ahead.
sometimes it's a waste of time comparison. Why not just enjoy? It's done right.
No,
It's
no,
not.
no. It
It's
was
not
done right. I
right.
enjoyed the hell out of it.
So to me, it's like there's
Right,
no
right.
comparison because that's a waste of time. You're not listening to it. You're comparing it. Let's enjoy it. That's where
Right,
I'm at.
Well,
right.
that's the way I've always listened to the album. That's why I bought it to begin with, and that's why I played the
Amen.
hell out of it to its
Right.
grooves.
There you go.
Okay, quick
When
little
I first got it,
quick little story about me seeing the Black Crows. Once again, this was on the Laughlin River Run. We ride our motorcycles to Laughlin, stay at Harrah's. And my buddy Dave, the one with the John Wayne bike I showed you all last week.
Right.
My buddy Dave says, let's see. Let me
Dave's
do
not
something.
here, man.
I'm gonna do something real quick here. I was
Dave's
gonna
not
show
here.
that crazy John Wayne bike again, but you know what? I don't want to spend a whole lot of time looking for it. So anyway,
as we like to call it, saddlebags.
okay, so this is me.
There it
So
is.
I'm with my buddy that owns this bike, and he's the reason why we all get reserved parking and stuff like that, because Harris really likes him a lot. Okay, and
Nice.
so anyway, we're in there, and Dave gets front row center stage to the Black Crows for us.
Nice.
And so we're sitting in the front row, and Dave's at the end chair next to the aisle, and all these crazy dancers come up. I like to refer to them as Woodstock dancers, because dancing like you've never seen before, twirling around and everything. They're all up there with the beer in their hand, and they kept spilling their beer all over Dave. So he ran back and grabbed security, and they made them all go sit down. 2 minutes later, they're dancing again, spilling beer all over Dave.
Yeah.
So he gets up and stomps out of that concert, and I sat there and watched it by myself.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
He should have said, "Dave's not here."
Oh, wow. Check this out. Michael Boswell gifted 5 Royce in the House memberships. Oh, my God, Michael. Thank you so much, brother. God. Caitlin Stoddard, hi, Winslow. Okay, so look at that. Thank you, Michael. We've got 5 more memberships. That's a total of 16 tonight. Oh, wow.
Congratulations, Royce. Michael, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Wow.
You're going to have to go into hiding and just present membership videos now.
Right.
There may not be enough time for this stream.
Right?
I know. That's a really good
Pull
point.
up your
Michael.
shirt sleeves, Royce, and get to work.
Michael, thank you so much, Michael Boswell. I appreciate, you have no idea how much I appreciate you doing this. Okay, let's see. Let's try to catch the chat here a little bit. Well, we were on the 6th album. Let's take a look at that.
Yes.
I listened to a lot of these songs twice because if you look next to the song, what it says is sound check. Okay, these out here they say sound check. So these songs were actually duplicated. Some of them were actually on the first album. So Custard Pie, great job on this. I tried to do a little bit of checking one against the other, but I just didn't have time to do that.
Now, often with sound checks, guys, the reason they'll include those on is every once in a while, you get a sound check. There's no pressure to perform, and the band is just freaking grooving. All of them end it and go, damn, I wish that had been the show,
No, that's exactly, Michael, exactly.
Right.
And so the first one is Custard Pie, and it's a sound check, and it was really good. You Shook Me, same thing, amazing, sound check. The Lemon Song, sound check, and I love that song, man. I mean, all of it.
Oh yeah.
10 Years Gone was a sound check.
Another
but a real standout here is it's about a 10-minute jam is the last song on this. The last song on the album after the sound checks is just called Jam. And if I'm not mistaken, that was 10 minutes long. So
you're right.
Anyway, that covers the 6 albums. And P401 says that's how I thought it worked. People in the live chat, not randomly. Yeah. Chat, not randomly choose by YouTube. Yeah. Okay. Try.
now,
rockin'. Yeah.
Something that Jimmy Page said about working with the Black Crows was he said, when he was with Zeppelin, anytime they would record, he said he would get very nervous before the recording session. He said with the Black Crows, he said he wasn't nervous at all. Very relaxed.
You know, Dan, I read the same thing. I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah, he was very relaxed. You're right. What you said was 100% correct. I mean, okay, Ben, only 1 out of 5 Michaels have been relieved. 4 must still be out there.
What?
Okay, there must be 4 more of Michael Boswell's free memberships out there, folks. So check it out. Caitlin, I don't know if you've got one yet. See if you can check it out and grab one of those memberships.
Yeah, test out the theory.
Yeah, right.
Let's find out if this is just against Rockin' Robin Bird or, what is going on with this.
Yeah,
let us know if you attempt to retrieve that and you can't get through.
Yeah, exactly. George Pita. We got Storm Cop 55. Steve Robertson, glad you made it. Yeah, we're all glad you made it, Steve. Thank you so much. Yes, it's okay. Rockin' Robin. Yes, that's why I sent Super Chat to support the channel and letting you know that YouTube chooses randomly. Okay.
Okay. Thanks, Robin.
Okay, Robin. Thank you. Rockin' Robin set out.
New member. Hey, look at that. Michael Bowles.
Okay, we got a new member here. Okay.
Yes, that's Michael Boswell.
Oh, okay. Okay, good.
It actually called it out. How about that? Somebody
Well,
learned how to.
I'm so far behind in the chat. I had to scroll down like 2 pages to get here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I can't keep up with the chat. Nobody can.
Yeah, it's hard.
It would be a full-time job for one person.
Yep.
One of the things I really liked about the Black Crows is, something about bands that have brothers together in the band.
Yes.
Make the band a little bit tighter,
Oh,
I know that from personal
I
experience,
agree.
You know.
Oh no,
like,
it's both the bane and the blessing of their existence.
that's exactly
there
right.
you go.
Right.
Yeah, because you know, one thing, you know, when it comes to business with the band, the brothers may always fight it out, but blood is thicker than water, and they're always going to side with each other eventually.
Well, most of the time there was
Yeah.
the Creedence Clearwater event,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah, you're right, Dan. But there's something about the Bee Gees, and their voices blending so together. You can tell they're brothers. Even their younger brother who had a big hit there,
Yeah.
you could tell he was
Andy
a Bee
Gibbs,
Gee.
was it, or
Yeah, you could
no,
tell.
you could tell. Yeah.
Yeah, fuck no love 'em. Oh, that's Barry. No, that's Andy. And so there is something about that
Oh, yeah.
will achieve. And yet, Dan, I'm thinking, you have the Bee Gees on one hand as an example of that, and yet you have a band like the Beatles who are just a bunch of chumps that fell together, basically.
Yeah.
And
Right.
somehow they sound like they blend almost like brothers. But then you have, the Beach Boys and the blend there.
Van Halen,
Right.
another
Van
one.
Right,
Van Halen.
exactly.
Yeah.
Pantera.
Exactly.
Pantera
Right.
is another one.
Yep.
But
How about Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young? Talk about harmony.
One thing one of the things I noticed in watching,
excuse me,
something I noticed in watching the concert with Jimmy Page and the Black Crows was that you could tell that Chris and Rich are brothers. There's a couple times where Chris would walk up, like bump into Rich, and Rich is like bumping back. I mean, you could tell there were brotherly things going on.
Right.
Like,
Okay,
this is
so
what we I'm sorry, but this is what we grew up dreaming of, and bump. Here we are doing it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
well, a couple of things.
But Mom always liked you best. That always enters into the picture, doesn't it?
Right.
Mom always liked you best.
Always liked you best.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm your older brother, John. Damn it, this was my band. You don't blink and know what you're talking about. With Oasis. I mean, good Lord.
Well, the difference.
Go ahead, Dan. Go ahead.
One of the things I noticed between Chris and Rich was more vocal about things that were going on in the band. He was more vocal about it. Chris would not talk about personal or business in the public.
Right.
But
so.
Well, you know what Chris said, that we were just all excited with what we were doing, and we were just being in the band together. The live tracks were recorded at the Greek in Los Angeles over 2 nights in October '99. Captured musicians who were on fire after previous stops in New York City's Roslyn Ballroom, the Centrum in Worcester, Massachusetts, and the Palace of Auburn Hills. So they've been touring around, and they were like absolutely on fire when they recorded these shows. Okay.
Well, they sound like a band that's been together for years. That was my impression of the triple disc album anyway.
Yep.
Well, he goes on to say we felt really connected and tied. We were onto something, and it was powerful. Okay?
Right.
So anyway, they were happy with what came out. They were bummed we weren't able to legally to put our names on the record, says songwriter, guitarist Rich Robinson. As his brother Chris, I wasn't surprised by how inept that decision was. So anyway, we just went through the anniversary edition, the 6 album set. Yeah. And they put all the Black Crow stuff back on there. No Speak, No Slave, Hard to Handle, Wiser Time, Remedy, all pretty much staples, and so many others too. Then added some more Led Zeppelin songs, and stuff like that. So anyway, everybody was just surprised at how well they got along. The extra material was great. The concerts at the Greek capture a partnership that would endure. Page and the Crows would go on a full American tour in the summer of 2000, and they're friends today. Yeah, they had some issues at the time, but they're friends today. Page stated, "We were all joined in the hip when we were playing, and it was just such a joyful event for me to be playing with these guys, and I guess for them to be playing with me too,
Yeah.
So Chris Robinson was kind of philosophical about, the timing of the anniversary release. Despite the song sitting in the vault for a quarter of a century, he's just happy now they can be heard. Okay.
Right.
So anyway,
Hey, Royce, you just got a
Oh my
$5
gosh, Ben.
super thanks from Ben Scheidecker. And we have also reached 52 thumbs up, another
Yeah.
48, and
Wow,
Royce will
wow.
get an additional bump up, but we've got our first bump up. Thank you so much, Ben.
Thank
Ben
you.
says, never heard of the Black Rose until this stream, Royce. I learned something new every week here. And
Yep.
exciting
Right.
to give
Every
this
week.
album a listen to on Spotify tomorrow. Ben, do so. I think you'll like it.
Yeah,
I really do. I wholeheartedly recommend this album. Well, I'll tell you, I haven't heard the new album, but I've been listening to the original triple album, which is kind of a Led Zeppelin honorary album. You know, it doesn't handle the Black Crowes stuff. But if you want to know about the Black Crowes' best songs, most of these songs are about the best Black Crowes songs out there.
Yeah, they are. They are.
Good on
Absolutely.
you, brother.
They are.
Thank you so much for your super thanks.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much, Ben. Yeah, you'll enjoy this. And you know what? I know you're younger than I am, and I just it's really cool to see people, you know, from new generations, you know, liking our classic rock, because I don't want it to ever go away.
Cheers. No.
So the Black Crowes kind of fall in that same category that we've been talking about here recently about bands going on tour.
Yeah,
with not the original members. Same with Black Crowes.
Right.
It's just the two brothers with all new musicians behind them.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
No, you got that's a very
good left the screen.
That's a very good point, Dan. And is that enough? Sometimes that's enough on certain bands, except that I'm sorry, the Black Crowes were a complete unit. And for me, they're not the Black Crowes, although the two most interesting members are there. But I just got off doing a tirade that for many, the two most interesting members of The Who are going to be on their new concurrent North American tour, and I don't consider them The Who. So how could I consider these guys to be the Black Crowes, really?
Yeah.
Well, I know that's always.
I think the last original founding member, not sure if he was founding member, but what he was there from the beginning was Steve Gorman, the drummer of Black Crowes.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And
the troublemaker.
Exactly. I was about to say, you're right. And they got rid of him in 2015. But in the meantime, Chris Robinson had another band going, the Chris Robinson Brotherhood.
Right.
And,
okay.
And you know, with Chris Robinson getting mixed up with Kurt Russell's stepdaughter, you know, there was the whole. I felt like, and I kind of lost interest in the Black Crowes at this point. Was they were becoming too Hollywood? Yeah. They were becoming too chic. But early Black Crowes, oh man, awesome freaking band. But you know, after the Hollywood excursion, I kind of lost interest.
Right.
I really think they peaked right about the time they did the Jimmy Page thing. That was
me too, Dan.
I agree. I think
me
so
too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Perfectly said. I agree.
Yeah. No, I haven't. There's a message up here from Oberheim, Brandon. And anyway, he wondering about Chris Elliott. He hasn't, you know.
Yeah, where is Chris tonight?
And we have no idea where Chris is tonight.
Where's Dawson?
But no, once again, I haven't heard from either one of them. I didn't see either one of them on your show like I normally do.
None of the young pups showed
Mother's Day.
It's Mother's Day, so you know.
Yeah, there is that.
No,
and you know what? At their ages, that a lot of us on the panel have said our last goodbyes to our moms.
Yeah,
you know,
right.
And we're making sure our kids are honoring it. You know what I mean?
But at the same time, Michael, I made the mistake only once of telling my wife, "You're not my mother." On Mother's Day.
It only takes once, isn't that amazing?
Boy, was that stupid?
Hey, Royce, you know what Kimberly told me when we got married?
Yes,
she said, "What is yours is mine, and what is mine is mine."
Right. That's exactly.
And as long as I followed those rules, we've had a pretty decent marriage, haven't we, sweetheart?
Well,
she just said it. Did you hear? She goes, absolutely.
Yeah, I heard that.
With her tongue firmly planted in her cheek, I might add. But that's what she told me. And I've, what is yours is mine, and what is mine is mine. Jokingly, she says.
Well,
She said, now she's claiming she said it jokingly.
That's like the old joke.
Okay.
Which is more dangerous, a husband or
Thank
a
you,
wife?
Kimberly. A husband or a wife?
Who's more dangerous, a husband or a wife?
Well,
It's
the wife,
I
obviously
ain't touching that one with a
the
10-foot
by
pole.
far.
it's obviously the wife, and here's why: it takes 6 men to take a man to his grave, yet it only takes one wife to put you there.
Right.
Oh,
Love you,
Right.
Kimberly.
like I said, I ain't
guys.
touching that one with a 10-foot pole.
Guys,
Mum's the word. That's it. End of story.
we do have a Chris Elliott sighting. Caitlin said he left a message in the chat earlier.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was that the one that said that you guys are a bunch of chumps? I'm not coming up anymore. No, that couldn't have been.
No, that wouldn't have been him. Not the Chris I know.
No, but the Chris I know, if he felt that way, would be the first one to say it. We get the honest truth from Chris. That's why I love him.
Yep.
You just get it. He's so deadpan about his whole delivery and everything. Well, except that
I missed the reading from the
there's
book
this
tonight.
fact. Right.
Yeah, right.
And Dawson's energy, man, he's been showing up a lot on Caitlin's corner.
Yeah.
A perfect trio, the three of them, I think, personally.
You know what?
speaking.
It is,
and
isn't it?
That's not to say Dawson don't belong over here as well. He does.
No, I know.
But I've really been intrigued. Royce and I joined their chat. We were in the peanut gallery. Dawson was on screen. Caitlin was up there, and James, who has co-hosted this show in the past, is up there.
Sir James.
So has Caitlin. Caitlin is probably our oldest and staunchest supporter over here on the channel. When you think about going back far enough and staying with us concurrently the whole time, right? So if you don't get if you get a chance, go to Caitlin's Magical Corner. They've got a good thing going over there. I'm over every time. The only time I'm not on their stream, I get notified every time, is if I'm doing a video or I'm setting up a stream of my own. But I always watch it. I love Caitlin's Magical Corner.
Okay, Paul, who's gifted a whole bunch of memberships tonight, has said that he's got a link here right now. Okay, Rockin' Robin, take a look at Paul's link. He says this link. I'll put this up real quick. This link shows what you need to do to accept membership. So maybe we could try that once too.
Oh, that's kind of cool how you did that. Yeah, I just looked it up. It took me to the channel. It's a tutorial. See, the tribe. I claim the tribe as a collective intelligence is an expert, and that's part of the definition of being an expert. Is my wife was just saying this today, and it came to my mind. It's not what you know, it's the guy or gal who knows where to go to get the information. It makes you an expert. And boom, here we go. One of our guys went and did some research, and that's exactly what I want to be talking about, and kind of dialogue that we have going over here and on my stream. Guys, this is what I'm talking about. Instead of warring and making cheap ass remarks about each other, this is a coming together, right, Dan? I mean, you go back further than me on this show. Dan goes back further than me. I was fifth wheel when I started up on this thing, and I'll tell you, it's always been the people out there that have stayed with us the core, but the core has grown, Royce.
It has, really has.
Yeah, it really has. I gotta talk to Rockin' Robin Bird here for a minute. She says, what I think is happening is that whoever is selected is being prompted to hit the accept button, but it's not true that it's first come, first serve. You're right. I learned that for the first time tonight. I was told it was first come, first serve, but that was not the case. And this is the first time I've been corrected on that. And I appreciate that because I won't be saying that again. But anyway, Rock and Robin, thank you. Thank you for letting me know this. And I'm really sorry about this. And we'll see what we can figure out. I can't do it on the show right now, but after the show, we'll see what we can do to figure something out. Okay. Caitlin, Dawson is awesome. Dawson is awesome. The link shows that you need to accept membership. Okay. Okay, but I guess you at least to accept membership, you have to be randomly selected to be a member in order to accept membership. Is the way it's coming across right now. Okay, live at the
Good night, Storm Cup. James, thank you so much for all you did tonight, brother. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Check this out. Whoever's scoring on that, on the price of that, let's see the price of that album. Let's see right here. Look at this one. Live at the Great box set, AUD $499 here.
No, $70.48.
Right.
US Amazon.
What is AUD? What denomination is that?
It's Australia, isn't it?
Australia, okay.
Australia denomination. Aussie.
Yeah, but I don't. I think the dollar may be a bit stronger than Australia, but not that much, right?
That would be four times.
Almost. That's still a pretty penny.
Yeah.
I don't remember what the exchange rate is now, but
do they have an import tariff? Yes. Do they also have a VAT tax? Yes. I mean, all these, right? So it all adds up. But gee,
I got to ask Dan. Dan, what is this?
No comment.
Just repeating the link that was.
Okay.
That tutorial.
I got you. Okay, thanks so much.
I noticed somebody mentioned. I know somebody mentioned in the chats a minute ago about Steve Gorman, the drummer from Black Crows.
Yes.
About his tell-all book that he had.
Oh, okay.
And, like we said earlier, he was kind of a troublemaker, and that's what I've been reading up on. And
okay.
Even during the Jimmy Page thing, when Jimmy left the tour, the reason was because of his back. But now Rich was saying that it was because that he was offering his service to write more songs for the Black Crows. Well, we don't need any more songs. And evidently, supposedly, according to Steve, that pissed off Jimmy, and he left the tour.
Yeah,
but and then he also said this, that when Jimmy Page found out that Rich had said this, that supposedly Jimmy Page said, "Well, I'm going to go up to his house. I'm going to kill him." Jimmy,
wow!
Yeah. And so this is all
coming from 110 pounds of it.
Yeah, this is all coming from Steve Gorman. That's why in 2015. When they decided to break up, there was a struggle as far as the ownership of the Black Crows, and they were trying to. They're trying to get.
Yeah, I do remember the ownership debacle there in the mid 2000s to 2010, somewhere around there.
Yeah, I guess it's dirt long period, but in 2015 they decided that's it. So the drummer, I guess I don't know what they settled with him for, but that's when the band officially dissolved. And when they did come back, back 4 years later, it was without that drummer. So.
Wow. Good night. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Dan. Go ahead.
I think what they did, they got rid of the problem is what they did.
Yeah.
Because evidently the two brothers were feuding too over the ownership of the Black Crows. But like I said earlier, blood is thicker than water. The brothers, they're always going to come together.
It's not always thicker than cash.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, unfortunately.
But when it comes to a disagreement with another party, the brothers are always going to stick together and look like they got rid of the problem.
Yeah.
Right.
Which at that point they cease to be a band; it becomes a partnership. That sounds exactly like what happened with the Eagles when Don Henley and Glenn Fry teamed up and said, all monies were really they're coming to the two of us. And when that was questioned by their troublemaker, according to them, liars, Don Felder, by kind of stirring the pot by going, "Hey, wait a minute, I'm a full member. Where's my monies?" And then he's kicked out. To me, when that happened, they ceased to be the Eagles, even with Glenn Fry, because there's only two Eagles left at that point. And to me, when the brothers started doing that stuff, that's right around the time, Dan. That's right around the time I just lost total interest in the band because they were no longer the band. The drummer may have been a troublemaker, but he was part of that creative juice, that mixture that created that music. He's essential, whether they liked him or not,
Right.
For me, anyway. I know a lot of people disagree with that, but for me, that's the way I look at it.
Right. So let's think about maybe some closing comments on this. I just want to start out by saying that I absolutely love this album.
Yes.
And I highly recommend it.
Make yourself big and do a final presentation on it, Royce.
Okay.
Give us the scenic view. Just go through each and everything what you got. Show us the delights.
Okay, here we go.
Ain't that a beauty?
Jimmy
Ain't
Page
that a beauty?
The Black Crows live at the Greek. This is the 26th anniversary. 25th anniversary.
25th.
180 gram vinyl. And the poster, this is what's on the poster that I pulled out. This picture in the middle here. Okay.
That's my kind of rock and roll art right there. That is a thing of beauty, buddy.
Yeah.
Look at that.
And frame it.
It is a thing of beauty, isn't it?
Yes.
So Black Crows too. So Black Crows.
Yeah, no kidding, huh? Yep, there they are.
Who is that deviled goat anyway? Ooh, Jimmy. Look at it. Look, bring it back up, Royce. Take a look at the artwork here. Take a look. You've got Black Crows on top, right?
Yes.
Don't you?
Yes.
Okay. And then as the tree descends, what's at the root? A goat.
A goat. Yeah.
He's a goat. All
greatest of all time.
So what head is represented by an inverted or upside down pentagram? It's a goat. Who is involved in the occult? Jimmy Page. Jimmy Page is sniffing around the tree. Now bring it up to the top. I only see two Black Crows.
Yeah, that's right.
The devil is in the details, folks. This is why collecting vinyl is so precious to me. Look at that. Look at
They're
that.
not taking a dump on the goat, are they?
Probably.
Probably, yeah.
I would.
About it. Right? How many have gotten hit by birds?
I'd be tempted.
Anyway, guys, I
look at the world different.
Highly recommend this to everybody.
Yes,
I
absolutely
thoroughly enjoyed it, and you made a wonderful point, Nick. Don't worry about comparisons. That the comparisons mean nothing. How does it sound? It sounds fantastic. Awesome. Hey, we've been joined by Frank James. How you doing, brother? Didn't Felder write the music for Hotel California, their most famous,
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Thank you, Michael.
Excellent point. And many people consider that their last great masterpiece, with the long run not being quite at the level of Hotel California, which I think Hotel California, which is a great album, and has some of the best Eagles music on it, I think it's bloated. So it's not my favorite Eagles album, but yes, he did write the music to it. Glenn Fry and Henley, maybe primarily even Henley, took over the lyrics for it and developed, I guess, the melody for the song, but all based on a grand musical, what would you call it, progression supplied by Don Felder. So you're absolutely right.
Yeah, Jersey Devil's a little concerned about the crow droppings on the goat.
I hit a nerve.
Yes, and he bets that goat's name is Alistair.
Right.
Hey, I just posted that deal on Amazon again. Right there,
You
Novice
can get
Nick.
this album for $70. I can't believe that. That's a
Well,
steal.
I can't believe that either.
That's a steal.
Yeah, no shit.
The
No,
poster's worth $70.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here and declare this to be Jimmy Page's best post Led Zeppelin work. Now, once again, we have Celebration Day, and that was post Led Zeppelin, but obviously, I really don't feel like I can count this because he was playing with a completely different band. Okay, and this he was playing with his longtime mates.
Yeah.
You know, plus the son of one of them. Okay, listen, we got Kiss Army member down at the bottom of that. Did anybody know this guy?
I can't
No, that's
Celebration Day.
Dawson. It's Dawson.
Dawson. Hey.
Hello.
Hey, Dawson, how you doing, brother?
Can you hear me okay?
Hey, Dawson, did you show up to say goodbye?
Oh, you guys are wrapping up the stream now?
Yeah, we're just kind of
Royce.
closing comments, but you might as well.
Well, but let's before we
say
wrap it up,
hello,
Royce, let's
and
hear
I
what
say
Dawson
goodbye.
Dawson
has to
Walters.
say about this record.
Dawson Walters, you
I
are
don't
up.
know
Go
why
for it,
you
brother.
say goodbye.
Oh, hey, look at there. I'm on the big screen there. I just got back from watching the Leafs game. I was listening to the Yardbirds. Yeah, the Yardbirds on the jukebox. But
You are.
okay, we got
Jukebox.
Jimmy Page. Jukebox. We got
Jukebox.
Jimmy
You know what movie
Page in
that's
the.
from, right? It's a
I
Wonderful
think.
Life.
And the Black Crows.
Oh, the jukebox. I thought that was
Jukebox.
the guy with the leather jacket who always kicks the jukebox.
Oh, no. That's from
Johnny.
It's a Wonderful Life. I broke the jukebox when they were
Oh
trying to get
no!
money to save him.
Get yourself a quarter. No
Yeah.
quarter. Okay, so we got Jimmy Page and the Black Crows. I heard one song one time with this collaboration here. I was kind of excited, and then I was like, I heard it. It was just sloppy. I was kind of disappointed. I was like, what the heck? What the heck is this? So I said, okay, I'll listen to another one live. And I'm like, wow, this is the peanut butter and jelly here. This is the cream of the crop. When you get a guy like that, you know, from the 60s playing with Black Crows who really made it big in the 90s and early 2000s, that was quite the combination there.
That's right. Exactly.
Absolutely.
So,
Well,
what
hey, Dawson.
what I want to say, folks, is I would put this album number one for Jimmy Page's post Zeppelin work.
I would buy it now. I would buy it now.
I'd give it number 2 or 3. I would give Coverdale Page the nod. That's a masterpiece. Yeah.
Okay. Those are all new songs. Those whereas these are Zeppelin songs. Maybe what's giving me my opinion on that.
Right.
I love.
No, I hear you, but you brought up post Led Zeppelin work. I mean, if
Royce,
we were talking about
Royce,
Robert
isn't
Plant,
the video going out on Michael's video there? Isn't he going out, going away?
No. No, I don't think so.
I'm with you. I'll take this album, the 6 disc, especially.
Wait, hold on, Michael. Were you finished with what you wanted to say? We'll just
no,
go
I
around.
wasn't.
I'm sorry.
I just wanted to say, if we were talking about Robert Plant's post Zeppelin career, we'd be talking about The Principle of Moments. We'd be talking about Now and Zen, Fate of Nations, and all of that. You even yourself mentioned The Firm. That wasn't all Led Zeppelin either. So, so if you're going to say Zeppelin related, it ranks quite high on the list. I would choose Celebration Day slightly over it, but I would too. No. Okay, but if you're talking about his post Zeppelin career, then you have to include Coverdale Page, and it's a very Zeppelin sounding album with a Coverdale kind of blend to it, and it's one of my favorite albums in rock. And I have said many times on my channel, Coverdale Page is a masterpiece. I did a video on it. Many concur. I got tens of thousands of people who saw that video who agree with that. So I just didn't. I mean, praise to this album, Royce. Praise this album. But
Now,
I couldn't let the show go and end without at least saying, "Hey, listen, we've got Coverdale Page, and it's probably the most complete thing that Page has ever presented to us, with Walking into Clarksdale being the most incomplete thing that I've ever heard, and a sad disappointment, and that he did with Robert Plant, right? So,
right.
I was so disappointed in that album.
Now I saw Jimmy Page and Paul Rogers together with the Firm in concert. Now that was great. They did a lot of Zeppelin tunes then.
Yeah.
Now
they were awesome.
Now I have seen the video of the Black Crows and Jimmy Page on YouTube, but now I haven't heard the album, so I don't know if the set. It's hard. To compare.
It's good. It's good.
Compare YouTube to a vinyl. It's probably much better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
When Jimmy Page was with the Firm, it was great to see him doing things like Dazed and Confused. When he did the violin bow,
Yeah.
Oh man, of course I saw that when he was in Zeppelin too, but of course he didn't do anything quite like that with the Black Crows though.
Right.
That I can remember. I don't think so.
No, the record truly has. The record truly does have the DNA of the Black Crows on it. The only thing that I would add is that somehow with Jimmy's presence and the material they chose to put out on their first release, which was all Zeppelin material, it was a crossover that is not only noble, it's a great freaking live record. And Royce and I will say this till our dying days. We love live albums over here.
Yeah, we really do.
Good ones.
We do.
And by the way, Royce, I did bring up that, and I don't include necessarily Frampton Comes Alive. Look, it's a good album. It's I want to say that. Okay. But I was a fan of Peter Frampton and knew all those songs before that album came out. And it was the album my little brother listened to and all his snotty little friends, right? And so from the day it came out, I've always had kind of an elitist attitude about Frampton Comes Alive because I was a big fan of him. Frampton's Camel, Humble Pie, all of that shit, man. I was, ooh.
Yeah, I saw him in concert at a free show at our fairgrounds.
Right. And the talk box bit annoyed the hell out of me.
I actually like Do You Feel Like I Do or whatever it was.
Oh God, I hated it. To me, that was like the first version of autocorrect, Do you believe in love? That's kind of, to me, that was just irritating. Now, I have heard the talk box used very creatively since then, and I love it as a device, but not this big, don't go believe, come on. And so, but most of those songs he had covered in one way or another before, and so I was very familiar, and I go, well, the better versions on the album.
Right.
And it was a good way to pick back at my kid brother,
Right.
I don't think you could drive a stake any deeper or harder into that album's heart.
It's a fine album, but Chris, Nick, I hear too much Hollywood. Keep it on Nick here. I'm just responding to Nick.
No, I get it.
It's too flashy, about as flashy a live album as I can endure is Paul McCartney and Wings Over America. That's about as glitzy as I can get. And then I start wanting to hear some barbed wire to the album, just a bit, like the Allman Brothers at the Fillmore East, that kind of groove.
Sometimes it's a search for a different market.
Yeah, I know. And it's just my
and
opinion. That's all it is.
Guys, give me 1 second. I'm going to put something up and see if anybody.
oh,
Look, I just,
Oh, I like the acting. We'll give Novice Nick an Oscar.
I just, yeah,
wait,
no
wait.
kidding.
Now we got two. Now we got two of them.
I got two of them.
Hey guys, hold on.
Michael, no!
Scratch your back for me. You scratched my back.
Hold on, guys.
Okay.
On a serious note, what are we looking at on the screen right now, other than Nick?
Yeah.
No, look at that.
Stakes
Look at
pounded through his
the
heart.
on-screen message. I'm
Oh,
trying to
what's
get.
this?
We don't know if this is maybe a troll or what here. I just wanted to get you guys'
Hey,
opinion on this.
Pixel Huge.
Looks nefarious.
Loser, babe. Yeah, cosmic.
I don't see
Bag lump.
anything nefarious about it. We can, you know.
Okay,
I-
right on. And I
Soon.
apologize to the person
No.
that put it on. If
Yeah, No,
intentions were all
and this,
good.
you know, we don't want to conduct a witch hunt. We're
No,
looking for
no, of
obvious
course not.
crows, and if there is some kind of, you know, key secret code to all of it, you know what? More power to you for creativity, as long as it doesn't get
Yeah.
overt. You know.
Right. Okay, Nick, do you want to wrap up your closing statements? Are you still alive, first of all?
Oh, I pulled the stakes out. Michael has helped me recover. He actually saved me.
Good.
Yes, I think this album at the price point is being advertised right now. Is I don't know
God.
how you don't go get
No.
some money and just buy it. It's
Just
Yeah.
it'll bring you
Right.
hours of pleasure. It's a
Yes.
wonderful listen, and it's just one of those things.
That's how
The
I
only
feel.
regret is that I paid full price. But that's okay.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
okay. At least I have it, and I was able to do tonight, and
Yeah.
it
Well,
brought
yeah.
wonderful entertainment. So
Well, and as I said
agree.
earlier, even
I
at full
agree.
price, it's a good buy, Nick.
yeah,
You
you're
know.
absolutely right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
No, what 6 albums? You know, and
yeah.
some really
And
cool stuff on it.
of really really good music. Six
Yeah,
albums
full
are
Really
one
good
price.
thing,
music.
but 6 albums of really good to great music.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So
I paid a good chunk more than you did for my Revolver, and that only included, you know, the album,
Right.
the mono, and a
Yeah.
double disc outtakes. There's only 4. You got a
Yeah.
book with it, but you know, you only got 4 LPs, and I had to pay a good deal more than you paid, and
Yeah.
you're getting a
Yeah.
lot more music on this one, and it's
Good
always
stuff.
about the music, right?
Yes,
okay.
absolutely.
That's
Okay. Well, it sounds
that's
like
the end story.
we've gotten our final comments out, our closing comments. So anyway, first of all, I want to thank everyone that watched the show. Thank everyone that you know came through for the show in other ways, and we'll talk
And
about
all
that more
58
next
thumbs
week
up of you.
with our next week with our shout outs. We'll go through that again. The people that contributed tonight, everybody in the chat contributed. Anyway, so I want to
Absolutely.
thank all you guys for being here. We love the chat. We have a lot of fun with you guys and gals. I you know
Yes.
use that kind of Anyway, so thanks guys. Thanks panel. Really appreciate you guys. Hope we're all here together again next week. Keep this going.
One more thing, Royce
Go.
Kevin Hall surfing Cronulla. He's from my side of the channel too. He says it's sold out already on Black Crow's site. Best get it while you can.
Yeah.
You know what happened with me?
Hesitate. Yeah.
What I've done is I've canceled my order for the Pink Floyd at Pompeii because it just bull crap going on there. So as soon as I get my refund from that, then I'm just going to reorder it through Walmart. You know, some of these sites, some of the releases this year have been just, well, it started last year, where there's absolutely, they promise something and then they don't deliver it.
Yeah.
You know, and that's sad. But this may be just the fact that it's that popular of a release. So I concur wholeheartedly with Kevin when he says, get it while you can. It's going to go fast, evidently.
Right. Hey, I want to say to Dr. Rick that I'm not 100% sure what's on tap for next week, but I'll be making that decision here in the next couple of days. Thank you so much.
We know, but we won't tell you.
No, that's not true.
I was trying to give us a sense of mystery, Royce.
Yeah.
Well, okay, you're right. You're right. The cat's out of the bag.
Whoa. We have a plan.
You're gonna do, yeah, you're gonna tune in next
Okay.
week. Same Royce channel, same Royce time.
That's right. Dan's got it. Dan's got the whole.
Yes, he does.
Yeah. He's
Okay,
got the vibe.
so thank you all, guys. We're going to shut down now. Paul,
Night all.
P401, thank you so much for
Night
everything
all.
you've done. And that's what's happening in Royce's world tonight. Thank you all so very much. You are all greatly appreciated. Even you, Dawson. Even you.
Yes.
Thank you.